Hey people, Indrid here, 3v3, Lothas Cataclysm blue team, couple of Plague champions. We have ShowSomeSnow and Surreal white. These guys start with a damage over time bolt gun. They can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support, can also repair. Rounding them off, Shadow as a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default to wait for capping and harassing some powerful control. Red team, CatchMySniffles with a Mekboy, another teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat, has a bunch of orky gadgets. Alongside on the red team is Circus as a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support fighting in melee, begins with a Refractor Shield and the Death Core of Krieg DLC here. Circus pumping out triple guardsmen at the start here. Rounding off the teams, eM7 as a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps to the combat, some powerful disruption and supports Harley Quinn's elite scheme, looking resplendent. Looks like it's Eldar versus Eldar in the south over this contested victory point. Natural for the red team in the east, natural for the blue team in the west through the mid. And it's Lord Commissar smacking around some heretic time. Plague champion and CSM going after those poor guardsmen. CSM closing for melee, where they will brutalize those guardsmen. The other two can shoot them down, maybe at least. Lord Commissar comes in to try and tie up that Plague champion and take away that damage over time bolter fire. Guardsmen will have to flee soon, but they've done some good damage to the Chaos Space Marines here. They might get a model off them. Yep, guardsmen flee. They did have their sergeant. In fact, they all have their sergeant, so they'll reinforce two at a time. Sergeant isn't that great in combat, though. He's the fella there with the chainsaw. It's like single-digit DPS, I think, but every little helps. Chaos Space Marines did indeed run, and it was well judged. Looks like they have their Eternal War as well. ShowSomeSnow with double CSM. These guys are really low, though. Look at that. Had a rough time in the north. One Heretic and one Chaos Space Marine gets away. Did the Sluggers get away? The Sluggers did get away. Mekboy's tying up the Plague Champion. A melee fight that he actually wins, believe it or not. The Mekboy has more melee DPS than the Plague Champion, who now has a Bile Spear, so that gives him more melee at least. Still can't fire it, just fired the Bilious Discharge. This very strange play from ShowSomeSnow. Just staying in melee here behind some heavy cover, trying to buy some time for the Chaos Space Marines to get up here, I suppose. Heretics of Surreal white all got away. eM7 with Howling Banshees, and the Howling Banshees of Shadow meet them. War shouting all over the gaff. The Warlock could work on some support stuff maybe to make their Banshees better. Falchu's Wing, Cloak of Shadows, that kind of thing. Banshees with a good special. Warlock retreats, and so do the Banshees. Kind of a messy fight, lots of losses on the Banshees both sides. Double Guardians of Shadow really helping out with their ranged firepower, of course. And the Warp Spider can go in and tie up the enemy Guardians. They can also, as you may have seen, use their heavy gauge filament to stun something. Here come a bunch of guardsmen being healed there by the Aura of Discipline, and we have the Power Sword. Early investment in this Lord Commissar there needs to pull their weight in combat here. And they should be able to do so against these Guardians and things, and a lead by example will be very helpful, smacking around heretics and Banshees and stuff. Chaos Space Marines with crack shot on them thanks to Shadow, increasing their range and their damage, which is quite fun. Commissar, are they going after? No, they're trying to get the heretics out of there as quickly as possible, I think, because this doom blasting business is rough for them, as you would expect. CSM should go into melee now. That crack shot has worn off. There we go. Did the heretics wipe? The heretics did wipe. Lasgun's got it done. That special might have saved those guardsmen there, I think. Guardian is now helping, and the CSM drop a model to that power sword. Heavy infantry do not like power melee weapons. Banshees on the prowl, though, came sprinting towards the Lord Commissar, and they backed the hell off. There's Immolate from the Immolator. Warlock taking huge amounts of damage, though. Barely gets away. Lord Commissar comes in with some good disruption. Being played very effectively so far, the Lord Commissar. They don't really have an answer to this guy right now. I mean, the heavy gauge filament is an answer. You also see improved targeters. What's going on in the north of the map, though? The Plague Champion Looks like they had to be repurchased, which is sort of 30 pop up there. They have double Eternal War Chaos Space Marines. There's a bunch of Daka though from CatchMySniffles with upgraded shooter boys with big shooters, and they've got Storm Boys on the field. Not sure where they are. They're making their way forward. Sluggers with burners in on the CSM. They're in a really bad spot. ShowSomeSnow, I think, is going to lose them here, maybe. Nope, they got away. They got away. Needed to use the Bilious Discharge a bit earlier there. There's a Black Grenade throw. It's a good one. It's a good hit. Now they can help out with this. That's a close fight. CSM hanging in there, but here comes Storm Boys. And these guys have power weapons, so they're going to rip through these CSM and the Plague Champion. Can they jump again? They might have been able to jump again and kill that Chaos Space Marine. Would have been close, though. They're not very good at chasing stuff on their feet. Who's down over here? Oh, Lord Commissar's down. After I said he was doing so well. There's some more Nurgle worship for the health regen. Immolate, Shuriken Cannon. Oh, Plague Champion's gone melee mode over here for Surreal White. Also Fetid Armor and the Mucus Discharge. Should help them deal with the enemy Banshees, but they used the Unholy Stench super early there before the Banshees showed up. Don't think it was worth just suppressing the Warlock, but there you are. Will it be great for running into this blob of guardsmen and suppressing them as well. Grenade thrown behind the energy shield there. Shuriken needs to run. Who can outshoot who? They do have this perfect cover of the energy field. CSM trying to get into some melee, barely dodged the grenade there. Aspect of strength for the Banshees of eM7, and Shadow also aspect of strength. Nice grenade. Wiped them. Banshees are gone. Orks by the teleporting forward. I was going to say that seems really risky, but everything's off the field right now. Put crack shot on themselves, as you can see. And they were probably doing a bunch of damage that I wasn't paying attention to there. Up in the north, Storm Boys in amongst CSM. ShowSomeSnow really struggling to deal with these Orks here. Needs to be way more active in positioning. Lost those CSM. Plague Champion also falls. We have, are these fully upgraded? Yep, fully upgraded double shooters. Sluggers now burning down gens. ShowSomeSnow needs some help from their Nurgle brethren of Surreal White, I think. But these guys are on the power still, trying to get it down. 491 to 307. ShowSomeSnow is in tier 2, and they could have got a Blood Crusher up by now. Maybe. Could have certainly started it, of course, but yeah, that might have been pretty good against CatchMySniffles right now. They go Dreadnought, okay. That should be pretty effective. You might see tank busters in response, and the Mekboy can get an anti-vehicle weapon as well. Battery pack is in play to support the Storm Boys and the Sluggers mainly when they get into melee and die. Plague Champion almost level 3 for Surreal, and they're getting Bloodletters. Shadow with the Warp Spider squad, they might have called them in. Not sure. Circus with the Manticore on the field, it's firing. But where? Over there. Big booms. Powerful artillery unit that you need to manually target all of the shots for with a long cooldown. But boy, do they hurt. Big fight here. Immolate goes in. Oh, more Banshees for eM7, okay. I think the red team have it. Shuriken comes into play. Warlock goes down, but they'll easily be revived by the Lord Commissar. Give him a chunk of XP. Is he going to level them? It won't level them. They are level 3, though. There he is. Warlock's back up. Still no support war gear for this guy. No channeling runes or anything. The new Banshees. Death gun up for the Mekboy. They did not get their anti-vehicle gun, though. And now they're facing a Dreadnought. And those guys don't really want to run into it. Chaos Space Marines with an aspiring champion. Again, clumsy from ShowSomeSnow. Should have backed off those Storm Boys. Or turned the Dreadnought around earlier. Oh, they got a good Noxious Cloud in there. Wiped some Shooter Boys, I think. That's probably what they were microing in. And the Warp Spider fell over. So they can get that revive easily. Oh no, they can't. The Plague Champion's still down. Well, Surreal White could go and get some nice chunks of XP over there. What is this? That's another Noxious Cloud from the other Plague Champion. And lots of death. That's loyal to the end proccing there. Global ability of the Lord Commissar. They don't really see that often. It strengthens units as they drop models, I believe. And it can stack up a huge amount. Lord Commissar went down. Stabbed to death by a Banshee, you might have seen. These guys trying to steal this fully built up central power. It was built up by the Chaos fellas, to be fair. Little bit of Eldar generator there as well. South is still red. 2-1 cap. Big VP lead though for the blue team, despite ShowSomeSnow struggling somewhat in the north. I guess there's no victory points up here, hey? I think the red team have held this power for most of the game though. And that stuff adds up. Tier 2 for eM7. That is a really late tier 2. Just as I said, those guys have had that power. I'm not sure why it was too late. Oh, they were just floating power like crazy, I think. They got into tier 2 and have over 600 rec and over 200 power. That was a hell of a float. Frenzied Barrage from the Dreadnought. Odd to see it, to be honest. There's no... Well, I guess there's a Manticore on the enemy team. Are they planning to go after that? It's very much an anti-vehicle upgrade. And I'm still not convinced that it's that great. I mean, it is very hard anti-vehicle, don't get me wrong, but it just seems like a clumsy platform for it. It's just so slow. In a 3v3, they so rarely survive and pay for themselves, you know? Banshees of Shadow wiped there, as you would have seen. Good grenade. Lots of dead guardsmen. Lots of dead guardsmen. Holy crap. It's like 10 of them, I think, died. What was that? Oh, it was a Basilisk Claire messing with their range. Up in the north, oh, we do see a beamy Death Gun now. And they put more DACA on themselves from their global bar. Does that mean they're firing more often? I think it does. Look at that. It lasts for a while. They're going to kill this Dreadnought here. One more shot will do it. Slugger's almost wiped. They needed to tie up the Mekboy there. That was a big misplay from ShowSomeSnow. The Dreadnought could have tied up that Mekboy easily. And probably killed him in a couple of hits. Now going back to the Death Gun. ShowSomeSnow needs some help in the north. We got some chosen Plague Marines on the field for Surreal White, unique to the Plague Champion. Kicking off though in the mid. Stop missing the fights, Indrid. There's loyal to the end again. I wish I had the numbers for this. I don't know what the numbers are. Someone can let us know in the comments maybe. I assume it's still correct on the codex. Down goes the Dreadnought of Surreal White. They just had a really rough time actually. They're down to chosen Plague Marines and Heretics. I don't think this VP lead can be maintained for now. There's some more Noble Worship. Plague Champion falls. Antigor Strike comes in, hits nothing. Some fleeting Guardians running around. Right Lance now doesn't really have a target. An anti-vehicle weapon with no vehicles. It could bash power maybe. Maybe skirt it around the south and get to that southwest power. There's no chosen Plague Marines. These guys passively damage nearby enemies. Have some power melee damage on those knives. And it's damage over time too. I think the damage over time aspect of it is actually heavy melee. They don't have a melee charge. They're very much counter initiation. And they can create some zombies. They're a very cool unit, these guys. Lots of health regen. But only infantry armor. I think it's around 18 DPS or something like that on their knives. And then, of course, the damage over time kicks in. So they're actually really good at going after single entities because that damage over time will stack up. Try to get them on an enemy hero. They'll do some good work for you. Power being bashed quite effectively here. Lehman Russ on the way for Circus. How are they able to get on the power? They have no armies, basically. I mean, Shadow with double Warp Spiders doing huge amounts of work here. Warp Spider Exarch themselves also pumping out some good DPS. Level 5 with enhanced warp jump generator. Destructor goes in. Do you still have the immolator, Mr. Warlock? You do. Oh, it's right there, look. 'Tis fire from the Eldar. 420 to 221. Heavy gauge on the Lord Commissar there. And there's a noxious cloud. Chosen Plague Marines are exploding. Those guys just flee. And we have an Autarch in all this mayhem. eM7's Autarch with a Executioner Spear already. It's a power melee spear. Jumping around like a weirdo. She emits a damage resistance aura, which is fun. And she can jump around and heal things a little bit. Up in the north, we got level 4 sluggers supported by a weird boy. Warphead is in. I don't know if they have the Warpath as well. There's tier 3 for CatchMySniffles. They've leapfrogged them in tech here. eM7 is not far away from like an avatar. They have the power for it. Level 3 Storm Boys. Nicely thrown grenade there. And we got some Mark of Horn Chaos Space Marines. They have chosen violence and to meet the Orks in melee. I like it. This guy needs to get up though. Oh, they've got a sword now as well. Okay. And this guy's a fist now. Unless I'm mad, this guy had the sword and the other guy had the bile spear. But it could just be my madness. Bloodletters on the way for both the Plague Champion players. Weird Boy just blew up. That's what he does on death. All of his psychic energy gets released. Lehman Russ with... Oh, it's a Vanquisher. So good versus large targets. And Fire Prism is what eM7's going for. Blue team doing an amazing job contesting the map with these armies, you know. Red team may be overextending a little bit. Especially Sniffles, and then they have to back off after they do so. It's a very delicate balance between holding mid-map and pushing through and getting some economy damage done on this kind of thing. Gens being rebuilt. Speaking of economy damage, another power bash thanks to the Warp Spiders, who then leave the Storm Boys. But the Bomber Boy comes in and did massive damage actually. That was a really good shot. Then they dropped to model. They do have their Exarch and their Aspects, so they are pumping out some really good damage. Have a Haywire Grenade. Light Grenade throw. Not going to hit anything. It makes them move at least. Go Chosen Plague Marines. And there's another Noxious Cloud. Not sure if they spotted it. Now they might. And there's Nurgle's Rocks from the Chosen Plague Marines to create some zombies. There we go. Awesome stuff. If they go double Icon of Nurgle, that would be awesome. They would get so many kills with Chosen Plague Marines out as well. Here's the Fire Prism. Fire support unit for the Eldar. Very good range. Bit too close right now. Not a whole lot around that could threaten it. Maybe the Chosen Plague Marines, if they get on it, with that damage over time, would stack up. Bloodletters, do you make it out, fellas? They made it out. I think, yes. Oh, Fire Prism from Shadow. Shadow's been carrying the blue team, basically. Looted tank up for CatchMySniffles. And they have tons of red, so we could see a Rocks dropped in. Or a timely Call the Boys, maybe. Not sure where the sluggers are. I can't... Oh, there they are. Didn't seem like I could select them for a second. I don't think there's any garrisons on this map. What were they up to? Were they in a webway or something? I didn't see any webways. Trying to burn down this natural power of the blue team. ShowSomeSnow, where are you? At base healing up, okay. Good answer. Plague Marines on the way for ShowSomeSnow. When in doubt, Plague Marines. Help them shoot down this looted tank, of course. Surreal White going into double Havocs. Could be genius. They've got a las cannon and an auto cannon. Auto cannon is good versus all targets with a small area of effect. Las cannons are dedicated anti-vehicle weapons. So this tank is in danger. So is that Fire Prism. Fire Prisms only have 500 hit points at level 1. They're very glass cannony. but they make up for it with that range and the knockback on their attack. Seer Council in play, they get Blight Grenaded. Powerful tier 3 melee squad, but they're getting dunked on right now. And here come Chosen Plague Marines. Almost wiped there. They almost got them out. Down goes the Fire Prism. The Fire Prism of Shadow getting it done. They are very low, and now they're taking Havoc Fire on that Las Cannon. Basilisk Flare comes in, but it wasn't enough to save it. Double Haywire's getting it done there. Blue team hitting back hard. What is this? Oh, it's the Emperor's Wrath. Off-map artillery. Chosen Plague Marines with Touch of Nurgle now. Global ability of the Plague Champion. They've used their globals liberally here. I don't think we're going to be seeing Imperial Abysses from Surreal White, but you never know. A decent Rock's thrown in. Oh, wiped one of the Warp Spiders, I think. One of the Warp Spiders is down. eM7 is quite depleted now. Needs some time to recover. They're down to Howling Banshees. Level 4 Howling Banshees and a Seer Council. And they need reinforcements and stuff. The Seer Council will buff those Howling Banshees just with their mere presence, which will be fun. Level 8 Plague Champion for Surreal White. Bloodletter's teleporting. Got some Plasma Guardsmen, by the way. Are they all Plasma Guardsmen? They are. And the level 4s and level 3s with 12 models. They'll be pumping out a lot of damage. Those Plasma Guns. Looted Tank is still around for CatchMySniffles. Does have the reinforced plating. Bloodletter's getting some Daka in the face. They can't be suppressed by the Death Gun. Those demons don't care about suppression, courage, and fear. They took a lot of damage there. Sluggers with Swampum going after Plague Marines. Plague Marines will explode on you when they die. So maybe they want to switch to another target. They go for the Chaos Space Marines now. Can they kill him? Sluggers fall. Kept them in play too long. Looted Tank falls. Big turnarounds here. It's a Blood Crusher on the field for ShowSomeSnow. They've got some zombie orcs as well. Plague Champion starting to grow these guys in their effect on the battlefield. Growing stature. Stormboy just exploding there. And that will actually count as a unit loss, I believe, for that Plague Champion. Warp Spiders on the way for eM7. Seer Council on the way for Shadow. And Cadian Kassakin for Circus. Surreal White with Noise Marines. I imagine with the Blastmaster immediately. And put it in the mid somewhere. Which is like a thoroughfare to get everywhere else. Seer Council have found the Warp Spider. They will mess up a hero quite badly. Anti-Grav Grenade will be a nice tool to use. Kind of underused, this thing. It's so good. Control. I expect to see it way more. Maybe it's super expensive. I didn't catch how much it cost there. Eldritch. Set up by the anti-grav grenade. Nicely done. Almost wiped those guardsmen. They actually all survived. So maybe that was a waste, because those guys are going to reinforce very cheaply and very quickly. But that was close. Almost got it. It is going to eat into Circus's requisition to have to reinforce 3 squads that much, though. They are reinforcing 3 at a time, and when they're at 12 models like that. Who's down in the north? Oh, it ShowSomeSnow. Where's the Blood Crusher doing? Looks like it's defending the VP. Lord Commissar goes down. The Seer Council hunted him. Fire Prism is very far forward. Just makes me nervous. Uh-oh. Haywire into Eldritch. They mistimed the Eldritch, I think. Or misplaced it, maybe. Oh, they got it. They got some good hits. And down goes the Fire Prism. What do I know? It got the job done. I thought they'd placed it out of position there. Here's a Blood Crusher. A Bloodletter riding on a Juggernaut. Heavy melee damage. No melee resistance, though. And it's taking beamy Death Gun shots with the more Daka Global. And that's very, very effective anti-vehicle, it turns out, if you didn't know. Super tough beam in play. And Bloodletter's wipe. Bad fight for ShowSomeSnow. They've struggled to preserve their units, but you know what? They've kept on trucking. And they've got level 4 Chaos Space Marines here. Sluggers, sorry, Stormboy get away. Nob Squad on the field now. Not sure what this guy's using at the moment. Do they have a sword still? Not sure. They're kind of half buried in the ground. 280 to 147. Level 7 Warp Spider trying to get the revive, I think. Yeah. It's a friendly Warp Spider. I think they'll get it done. Switching back to improved targets. Nope. Did they just spot the knobs or something? Nope, knobs aren't out of the field yet. That's going to be a great tool to have against a Nob Squad. Anti-grav grenade, if you can hit it, of course. There's a black grenade. Decent hit. And they have Armor of Pestilence. I think you just saw them use Aura of Decay there, which wasn't helpful. Just knocks back nearby units and nothing was nearby. Through the mid as a Lord Commissar, lost the indicator for them. They are level 8 though. And they're going for that VP again. 280 to 125, 1-to-1 cap. Nurgle Shrine. Odd place for it. I think it's going to get shot down now. Double Warp Spiders now for eM7. Stealing Shadow's idea. There's tier 3 for Surreal White. And Warp Spiders go for the Manticore. They haywired it. But unable to do much more, unfortunately for them. Blue team have the contested victory point. There's a Nurgle Shrine. Worshipping it so you can reinforce from it. Heals you periodically as well, including your allies. Chaos Space Marines running from all of the plasma guns. A raid against them. The throw doesn't pay off. Here comes a Nob Squad. They have their Nob Leader, and they have Mina and Greener, and they are a massive threat. Might be worth getting that Bile Spear back out. I hear Banshees yelling. Red team have this VP now. Banshees got Seer Counseled and Plague Championed and Chosen Plague Marined, and they left. Stormboy's doing Stormboy things. Blowing themselves up. And stunning as well. What are the Nob Squad doing? Oh, they went in all the way into base, I think. Yeah, they kind of went into base. They seem to be all fine. Still. Warp Spider Exarch is down. What did the Kasrkin get? They have plasma guns in hand at the moment. They can freely switch between their specialized weapons, though. And they're trying to cap the South VP with their fast capping, but Surreal White says no. Plague Champion will now cap. Diligent heretics there, worshipping as much as they can. Shooter boys get the cap. Now I need to run. There we go. Now these guys have to spend time taking it back. Plague Marines versus Nob Squad. Not a good fight for those Plague Marines. Notice that red debuff circle. That's because they slow down nearby enemies. And also apparently prevent melee charges, which is pretty cool. Now they have their jammers. 8% per proc of the momentum. You see those rings. I always think it's 4%, but it's 8%. And you can get like 4 of those rings up, I think. 32% more damage right there. Pretty cool. That's before you use your choppers and that kind of thing. Which they can't do here, of course. Are the Nob Squad going to die now? I think they made it out. Basilisk Flare might help them. There's a Imperial Abyss from one of the Plague Champions. They've tried to get out of it. Oh, but now they're retreating through it. Nasty, nasty stuff. So much death. So much death. They're still trying to camp on this. Oh, Seer Council out of here now, okay. And Stormboys show up. They're not done yet, apparently. They're not going to win against Seer Council and Mark of Corn CSM, though. Circus only lost one of their Guardsman squads. They're reinforcing 3 at a time for 19 per pot. Pretty awesome. 188 to 125. Single here for the red team. Land Raider Phobos on the way for show. That Manticore strike? It is a Manticore strike. Only killed a few heretics. Didn't really do much. Weird that they didn't target the shrine there, actually. Seem to put like a bunch of those shots right there for some reason. Tons of requisition for ShowSomeSnow. Might be worth us popping out some Chaos Space Marines or some more heretics. Oh, it's commandos. I was going to say, where did that fire come from? It's a commando squad. They threw a burner bomb. Mekboy time. Oh, well, they've taken that power already. I thought they were using the Mekboy to get a power bash, but nope, it's been bashed and taken. Ouch. Off-map artillery. Busting up some Eldar. There's a anti-grav grenade into an Eldritch. Hits the Leman Russ. Loyal to the end is off again. Have no way to reinforce here though. Manticore almost got the Fire Prison, but they got the Leman Russ down. Fire Prison wins the fight. With a bunch of help, of course, including a nuke. Double Guardians. Well, it's only the Warlocks alive, and they're trying to repair this Fire Prison. Down goes the Manticore. They finally got it. Circus down to a single unit now. Oh, Seer Council just wiped, I think. Topsy-turvy. This Fire Prism's so far forward. Here comes a Knob Squad. And Storm Boys. Havocs must flee. Red team have a decap here. Eldritch on the Phobos. This thing with side sponson twin link las cannons. Very good against large targets. Double Haywires going, but can they finish it off? Heretics need to get in there and repair or worship or something. The Phobos is a demon for purposes of worship. Well, I guess for all demon purposes, it's ready to go. Chaos Predator now for Surreal White. Catachan Devils for Circus coming out in Tier 3. Not something you see very often. Oh, wow. Those guys got las cannoned in the face pretty badly. The eM7 gets some more Warp Spiders now. Blue team hanging on to the south. The Shrine doing a lot of work, eh? And Chosen Plague Marine is doing a lot of work. Some Nurgle Zarot going on. What level are these guys? Level 4. 26, 62 hit points. Awesome. Do they get more health? Yeah, I think they get more health regen when they level up. You can see it flying up right now. Because worshipping the Shrine doesn't give you health regen. Oh, they're not close enough to reinforce, I think. Need to get a bit closer to that Shrine, fellas. Phobos is defending the VP. Mekboy going back to the Beamy Death Gun. We might see the more Daka Beamy Death Gun trick. But it's not really a trick. And they've got double commandos with Knob Leaders, so rocket launchers. That Phobos might not last the next fight. 168 to 76 on the VPs. Plague Champion hiding behind the wreckage of a tank. Are they going to throw it? There we go. Catachan standing in. The Blight Grenade isn't great. It looks like they're going to tough it out. I mean, they're pretty tough. A-wires on the Phobos. And these Catachans do have their Sarge with their Melter Gun. What is this? Oh, Singularity. Uh-oh. Chaos Space Marine survived. Maybe? That's some unfortunate friendly fire. Crack Grenade goes in from a Kassakin. Switching to their Melter Guns now. Knob Squad gonna finish off that Phobos if it's not careful. Maybe Banshees will just do it actually. Don't think it's gonna survive. 168 to 45. It's still clinging on. Down it goes. Plague Champion also goes down. Big push from the red team. There's a Mark of Zinch Chaos Predator. Good at taking on enemy vehicles, of which there are none on the red team right now. Maybe they should have held on to that upgrade. Down goes the Fire Prism. Double Commandos and Melter Kashyyykin were there. Emboldened from the Guardians, level 4. They're doing some decent damage. That was Ethereal Slash from the Warlock. They also have Providence, so you might see the Warp Throw as well. Plague Champion trying to slay the Warlock, but Providence is up. He laughs at your Plague Sword. 157 to 45. Now it's gone though. Providence has worn off. And they couldn't quite finish the cap. I mean, not that it would have stayed red for very long. There's stuff right there to cap it. I said there's stuff right there to cap it. Someone needs to cap it, guys. Chaos Terminators, hey, for ShowSomeSnow. Double Commandos being a nuisance still. What's that? Plague Marines are capping. Level 8 Plague Champion gets a good revive. Down goes the tank. Commando's doing a great job so far for CatchMySniffles. The Zombie Commando. Can he throw bombs and stuff? I would guess so. I think they get all their abilities. Why wouldn't they get their abilities? D-cannon doing D-cannon things. Pathogens popping smoke. There's the Council again. What level are these guys now? Level 4. Gonna take out this shrine. Down it goes. Get 25 red for a shrine. It's not bad, eh? There's level 4 Mark of Corn CSM still going. Chaos Terminators are gonna get claws so they can fight this Knob Squad very effectively. Need to get them first though. They're taking a lot of damage here. Light Grenade went in. Here come Mark of Corn CSM. They'll do a lot of damage to a Knob Squad. And now the claws appear. They actually teleported away there. Maybe they thought they were going to lose the model if they didn't. Which might have been the case, but these guys might need to just run back and heal up here. Look at this. Kashyyykin with their fast capping. Lascannon can't do much. Heretics could maybe knock them off it. Where's the barrage, fellas? I saw no barrage. Maybe it was on cooldown. Triple cap for the red team. The map looking incredibly red. In the south, it's kicking off big time. That was a Basilisk Flare, I think. No. Yeah, it was a Basilisk Flare. And then that was an Emperor's Wrath after it. Webway on the southern edge from the red team. Plague Champion falls. Red team retain the south. And they might have done enough to get this game. We have double Chaos Terminators on the field, though. These guys really need some health. A Rocks on the natural VP of the blue team to stop them capping it. And a bunch of Orks show up. Good pressure on this VP in the late game from CatchMySniffles. Really good pressure. And from Circus too. They've been on it. Plague Champion. You gonna survive, buddy? You alright? Nope. Just not even lay down. Plague Marines also having an explosive laydown over there. Mark of Corn CSM on some retreating commandos. Maybe they should just run through onto the red team's victory point. Oh, these Chaos Terminator is really low. Oh wow, they got messed up. Storm Boys headbutted them to death in the south. What's happening? Lots of Eldar pew pew here. GG. Oh, there it is. Red team did have it. What an up and down game. It's a really rough start for the blue team. ShowSomeSnow kept on trucking, but they were really struggling dealing with the Orks in this kind of closed area in the north here. Level 10 Plague Champion for Surreal White. They did get better though, and they kept at it. And they put up a hell of a fight. Level 9 Plague Champion there. Level 10 Warp Spider Exarch for Shadow. Was a very strong player on their team. Level 10 Mech. Loved the usage of Beamy Death Gun and more Daka whenever a vehicle showed up. Level 10 Lord Commissar had Fist of Brockus at the end. Flak Jacket as well. And a level 10 Warlock. Triple level 10s on the red team. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.